everybody, welcome back to the Expressions Podcast. Your host, Chris. And today we have a legendary episode, in sort of say the least. In the past year, this past year was on the one of the most hyped projects in a few years out of the underground. A legendary resume that I can't wait to talk about. And what seems like already, because we just talked a little bit in the pre-recording here, a fantastic person, getting a great energy from this man through this Zoom video call right now. I'm here joined by the legendary Keatum. Keatum, welcome to the show, my man. How are you?
And Expressions, thank you so much for having me on. I'm doing good, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The pleasure's all mine. Thank you so much for coming on the pod. Keatum, start us off, man. Where are you from?
I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma, originally born in like the Dallas area of
Mhm.
Texas, but moved to Oklahoma when I turned like 2 years old. So I've been here my whole life.
So not Oklahoma born, but definitely Oklahoma bred, man. What can you say?
100%.
What can you say about Oklahoma? I told you this in the DMs. First ever Oklahomian. I don't even. That might not be right.
I
Doesn't
think that's right. I think
that
that's
I?
right.
Okay, okay. Well, kudos to me right there. That was a fucking guess. What can you say about the state of Oklahoma? I don't think it's a state that gets a lot of love. I don't think a lot of people know about it, and I don't. And even me personally, I don't know one artist, producer, or anyone out of Oklahoma. Maybe you could educate us though.
Yeah, it's definitely a chill place. I wouldn't say there's like n nothing going on here, but there's not a lot I can say going on here. And uh yeah, it's a very chill place. I love living here. Um, would I recommend someone come here to make music and try to do that? Maybe not, but
Yeah,
it's definitely a very good place to live. And, I don't want to take that for granted. So,
definitely. Do you feel any influence from the state of Oklahoma in your music? Like, are there people around you listening to underground music as well, similar to what you make, or is it you're just on an island alone in Tulsa, Oklahoma?
yeah, no, so thankfully I have a ton of homies from here that make music, and pretty much my whole life I've been able to meet different people that have been into music. So, yeah, living here has definitely influenced me getting into music. Uh, I tried to do band in school for like half a semester one time. That didn't
Hmm.
work out at all. But uh, just random stuff like that, stuff that's like maybe not related to what I'm doing right now, I feel like has shaped me to try to learn music in some way. But that being said, no, there's a ton of my friends out here doing the same thing as me. So, and going back to what I was saying, there's definitely stuff going on in Oklahoma. I think that I know people will see soon, maybe in like the next 5, 10 years or something. But I'm hoping that yeah, all my boys can just go up that with here. So
Yeah, I love that. You mentioned playing in the band. What instrument did you try to play? How's
man, this is embarrassing. I played the trombone, so
that?
just about the worst one you can play.
I feel like whenever I think of a trombone, I think of that one episode of SpongeBob with Patrick. It's like in the trombone.
That's what it felt like, bro.
Yeah,
It was not fun at all.
yeah,
Not at all.
wasn't for you.
No.
Unfortunate. But big takeaway, Oklahoma's on the up and up right now. So,
I think so. Maybe not totally rap centered, but yeah, I think Oklahoma's maybe next up.
hey, well, I love it. Little history lesson right now about the state of Oklahoma. I peeped in your bio, you're from Tulsa, but obviously I'm the interviewer. I gotta ask this question.
Right,
So,
right.
but I do my research like I always say. Tulsa is actually known at one point as the oil capital of the world.
Yeah, that's probably like the coolest thing I could say about Oklahoma. There's not much I can like sit
This
and
is
brag
crazy
on the
though.
state
Wait,
for, but
Keaton, this is crazy. During the year 1907, Oklahoma produced more oil than any other state in the US and any other country in the world.
Peru?
Yes,
I
1907.
didn't
There's
even know that,
literally the
bro.
oil capital of the world. That is a
Okay,
fact. How
that's pretty
crazy is
cool then.
that?
I didn't know how crazy it got. That's insane.
To think about like the world, like Oklahoma is producing the most of literally what the world runs on.
Yeah, yeah.
Incredible.
That's the one that I tell people all the time because they're like, what should I like? What is there even to know about this place? And I'll say there's not much, but yeah, we used to make oil and we have country music. So, but no.
I love that. I love that. Well,
For sure, for sure.
listen, Oklahoma's on the up. We know that, and that's a history lesson for everyone out there. You're welcome. I hope you learned something. Go use
No,
that
yeah,
today
I didn't even
somehow.
know that.
No, I didn't know that before that either. Before I looked that shit up. But Keaton, take us to the beginning, man. Though, how did you even start making music? How'd you get into all this?
Shoot, so I guess one thing I forgot to touch on was all my friends around me were kind of into the underground. Just in middle school and stuff, I can remember listening to like Young Bands and Cardi and
Yep,
just
yep.
everyone on SoundCloud, Uzi, and everyone there at my school seemed to like all that stuff. So thankfully, it wasn't like I was alone in a school where no one was into the same stuff as me, that type of thing. But um, yeah, I think making beats for me started. This would have been in like 2018, around mid 2018. I remember it being like the last week of school, and I don't know if I just had like a lot of free time or what, but I was on my computer and I came across these like YouTube tutorials on, I think his name was Sharpie or Sharp. He's a producer, and
Mhm.
uh, anyways, he made this video of himself making a beat, and I was like, that looks insane. Like, I want to learn how to do that. And so it took a while, but eventually, I think that week I got a hold of like a FL demo, and then started messing around on there. And then I honestly never really put it down from there. I just kept trying to make beats and stuff. And um, but yeah, I think it was definitely just being curious on the internet. And back when I was mentioning being in band, uh, there's someone from my school named Jason, and I remember he was using FL Studio back in like the sixth grade. I thought he was a wizard for
Oh,
that
what the
back
fuck?
then.
Yo,
I know, right?
Jason's tapped in, man.
Bro, shout out Jason. Yeah. So I think, I mean, I don't know this for sure, but I think I want to say him using that put me on to FL. So shout out to Jason for sure.
Yo, I wonder where Jason is right now. He's got to be doing something incredible, building rocket ships or something at this point.
Right? That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying, bro. That's what
Oh
I'm
my
saying.
God. Well, that's very cool. I feel like so many people, even myself, like I love going on YouTube and watching producers cook up. Like I think it's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
fascinating, and obviously it inspires a lot of people, including someone like yourself. Is there anyone else you like to watch on YouTube at all for like
Yeah,
producers?
I would there was Sharpie, um I believe his name was Aries, uh Nick Mira, all the
Mm,
internet money guys for
yeah.
sure.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I would also watch tight beats too before I even started producing. Um, I would kind of just treat the YouTube type beat world as like a another Spotify. Like I would just go on there and listen to beats and play video games or whatever. Like uh I was just really fascinated by people making so many of these beats all the time, and there just being so many out there to listen to. So uh the YouTube type beat scene for sure influenced me like learning producing as well. A lot of good people, good supportive people that are willing to like teach you whatever in that community. So
But that's really fire. I've never heard someone, I guess, say talk about like the tight beat world. Not even
yeah,
that phrase has been brought up before, but that makes sense. It's actually really, really interesting. Even you, literally just listening to tight beat after tight beat after tight beat, like just listening, I imagine, for different sounds, how they're using this 808, et cetera, like learning how to fuck around, play around
for
in
sure.
FL a little bit more. That's really, really cool, man. I think producers should definitely tap into the Keaton method. I'm gonna call that now.
Dude, even now I catch myself doing it like, and I'm telling you, the most fire producers are the ones with like 200 subscribers. Like they had just made their channel or something. They have 300 subs and like they're putting out beats. They're probably fire. Go check them out. Like take the risk. Like it's not too big of one. Like worst case, you're not gonna like the beat too much and whatever. You're gonna run into that in any type of music. So
Yeah.
for sure.
That's real though. Give the people a chance out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Give it. We all started at zero. We all started at
Exactly.
zero. For real.
Exactly.
Keaton. Now it's time to let's break out the resume, okay? Your resume is fucking crazy. Do you know this?
I hope so, man. I really do hope so.
Oh, it's humble. This is a humble man right here. Let's dive right into it. So start off. You're on If Looks Could Kill. The short only. I mentioned in the intro. one of the most hyped tapes of the year. People were dying for If Looks Could Kill for forever. You're on Biggest Problem, almost 1 million streams right now on SoundCloud. Insane fucking song. Going backwards now, back to 2021,
Right.
the first Homicide Gang tape, Snotty Wax, and you're on the deluxe with Big O Shit. Snotty Wax is at 620,000 now. Big O Shit is like 200. I mean, legendary tape, the
Thank
first
you, man.
Homicide Gang tape, bro. Like I remember when that came out, like I was like, oh my God. It's like this shit is crazy. I thought it was so hard. And I'm like, that Snotty Wax beat was that shit was absolutely incredible.
Man,
So
thank you so
like
much.
you've been a part of the culture for a long time now and played a big role in it. I'm gonna keep going though, because there's too much to get into. You're on Omo, Dom Corleone's new tape, Quest, it's at 50K now. You got a crazy Yeet song, Built Different. That shit is absolutely incredible. 230,000 streams. I
Thank you,
need the
bro.
story for this one. We might have to halt to a stop
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. Soldier Boy Call of Duty. I'm gonna need to understand how this happened. Just tell me now. I have to stop. I thought I was
So
gonna ask later, but I can't. I need to know.
very, very, very interesting, like turn of events, I guess. Like, so basically, I remember this day. I was hanging out with my friends or something, and like when you sell a beat on BeatStars, which is like the
Mm-hmm.
platform that I sell my beats on, you'll get like a notification. And I remember getting a notification for it's called the unlimited lease. It's like when you're selling beats, you can sell like
Yep.
uh yeah. And so
No,
anyways, I got
break that down though. Break that down.
for
Break that
sure.
down. Break that
So
down.
yeah,
Mhm.
so when you sell a beat, think of it as like different tiers. Like the first tier will be the cheapest, and
Mhm.
hey, you can only get up to 25,000 streams on SoundCloud before I need that like $40, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just it is like it sounds messed up when you're first hearing it, but it really is just how the beat community works. And
Yeah.
um so anyways, uh the second tier, could be like unlimited streams, but you don't own the beat.
Yeah.
And then the third tier being you just outright own the beat.
Yeah.
And so I get a notification saying that uh, I got an unlimited lease, which means uh, it's like the middle option. So it's a little bit more money. So you don't see those as
Too
often.
often. Yeah.
And so I got the notification and I was hyped at first, of course. And then just out of curiosity, like I clicked on the notification and then the name like looked mad familiar. And I was like what? And then I'm staring at because BeatStars gives you like their name and phone number and email when someone buys a beat from you. And so I look up the name and it's saying it's Soldier Boy, and I'm like, all right, bro, this isn't funny. Like, who's out there buying beats under a different name to trick
Yeah.
people? And so I honestly I didn't think too much of it. I didn't think it was him, but some months went by and then someone just commented on one of my YouTube videos and was like, "Hey, like Soldier Boy use this beat," and then that's how I found the song. But it was totally random. And like, by the way, shout out Soldier Boy because he actually paid
Shout
for the
out
beat.
Soldier
Like,
Boy. For
I
real.
like some of these rappers don't pay for the beats, and so the fact that Soldier Boy, like someone that could have easily just stole my YouTube beat, and
Yeah.
what would I have done about it? You know what I mean? But he is a real one for actually supporting, producers and all that. So shout out to Soldier Boy. But that's
That's
how that happened. Yeah, he got it off my YouTube basically.
that's so fucking real, man. That's a beautiful story to hear. I mean, Soldier Boy, for me, just inspirational. He changed the game. He changed everything. It's Soldier
Most
Boy.
definitely, bro. I think that was like the first rapper I ever listened to as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
like Soldier
Mm-hmm.
Boy. So
Yeah. Like he had everyone in like the world, it seemed like hitting to crank that, And
most definitely.
yeah, so I remember just seeing that and going through like your profile. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like you gotta scratch your head. Like he's never
Yeah.
even been brought up on this podcast. I struggle to find a way that he could be brought up, but Keatum comes to save the day, ladies
It's
and
mad
gentlemen.
random, man. It's mad random. But thank you,
That
thank
really
you.
is. legendary to say the least, though.
I
So
appreciate
thank
that.
you for that story. I was so curious to know about that.
Of course.
Let's keep it rolling though. Milan, Dover Street, 20,000 streams, fire ass song. Six song you have with Midwest, Send Them to Hell, another 20. You have a song from a minute ago. I'd never heard this shit, but it's by 24 Resh. It's called
Okay.
Nana. It has like 450,000 streams.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, nah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I've never heard of this song.
I
Yeah,
need to check that out.
yeah, no, it
That's
has
my
so
fault.
it's from like 2 years ago though.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
I
from a
just
minute
forgot
ago.
the name of it or something.
I found another song by this guy. I didn't know this guy Shard. 10
Yeah,
piece off
yeah.
freestyles of fire ass song.
Yeah, thank
Uh
you.
you have a song with Edison Cullinan, 23,000 streams. That shit's fire. One of
Thank
my
you.
favorite songs of the fucking year. One of the best beats I've ever heard in my life, actually. Uh Bros Hose, or I guess that's Bros before Hose. Zucchini,
Yeah, bro.
you and Patrick. Oh, it's a perfect song. Zucchini, I'm a huge Zucchini fan. I think he's fire. Obviously, Patrick is insane. Yourself, insane. Like that's
Yeah.
one of my favorite beats I ever heard. Like that shit is
Thank you
perfect.
so much. Patrick
Really.
and I made that on Discord one time.
Yeah. Shout out Patrick. That shit, yeah. Amazing beat. Play you
Thank you,
have
man.
excuse me, songs with Teflon, Tizzy, Nerd 1K, Mobing is Glock Kitty. I fuck with this DMXN Damien.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that how you say it?
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'm not
I
too sure how
bought.
to say it. We recently like met each other and all that, but yeah, yeah.
Oh, facts, facts. Yeah, I hate when I butchers people's names, but like everyone's like not out and about. Like if you're worried about how to say like Lil Yachty, you could just hear him say hi, I'm Lil Yachty. But
No,
obviously it's a simple
100%.
one. But
Even my
you
name's
get what
like
I'm trying to say.
butchered to pronounce. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Totally.
Exactly, exactly. Uh yeah. So fucking insane resume. You've worked with some of the biggest artists in the underground to fucking Soldier Boy to just some absolute classics on SoundCloud. Tens of millions of streams almost. Definitely millions for sure. What does it feel like, Keatum? What does it feel like? You've been in the game for a long time now, since 2021, going crazy. So what has all the success been like, man? Because it doesn't seem like it's gonna
Thank,
stop.
thank you so much. It's great for sure. Like I've been uploading beats to YouTube and all that for a while now, and so it's really good to see that people like the beats that I post and everything. Like it would suck if I made a bunch of beats, put them out, like put work behind them, and then nobody uses them. But I'm very glad to like hear that a lot of people post songs and like the list you're saying. I'm assuming my name's in the title. So thank you so much if you're out there doing that because that definitely helps so much towards
Hmm.
like people finding who made the beat and all that. So yeah, all I can say really is I'm very thankful for all of it because there definitely was a point where no one was using my beats and I was
Yep.
mad, confused, and frustrated. So
So something I'm interested in is I mentioned right you're on If Looks to Kill this year. A couple years ago, you're on the original Homicide Gang tape. You pretty and that was one of the biggest tapes of that year that came out, right? They're allegedly their opium, they're under Cardi, like, and they sort of
right,
came. I feel like that tape sort of came out of nowhere. Like, they didn't really have like that great of a social media presence either. Like, it was just
100%.
like mad random. And obviously, I heard about them just because Cardi. But then you heard this shit, and I was like, oh my god, like, what is this? So, what was it like originally getting that placement back then? And was that sort of the moment for you where your career just sort of just went like started going off the charts and whatever it may be? Was that like the
Yeah.
moment, or was it even before that?
So that song definitely felt like a turning point, I
Hmm.
guess I could say. But like you said, there wasn't much presence like behind the tape and everything when it first dropped. And so how the song came about was super random. Like I had like got wind of the name Homicide Gang, but like I honestly didn't even know they were rapping. Like this I was making beats. This was probably like maybe January of that year or something.
Yeah.
I'm probably wrong, man. But uh sometime I'm making beats on Discord with my boy Kinzo
Mm.
and he's like, "Hey man, you gotta like tap in to Homicide Gang. I have their email. Like they posted it on their story. I think you should send some beats. And I don't know what it is, but back then I just wasn't really sending my stuff out. I would post it to YouTube. If I knew any rappers, I'd send stuff to them, but I just never really made the effort to go and send something out. So I'm like, well, shoot, like if I'm gonna do it, it better be now. So I got on there. I think I sent them like two beats, and then one of those was uh, Snotty Wax.
Wow.
So just after that, like I wasn't emailed back or anything. So I honestly didn't even know if that was a good email, like a legit email anymore.
Yeah.
Because that'll happen. You'll get an email and it'll. But anyways, I found out the song drops because my same friend Kenzo is just playing music on Discord. Like we're just like sometimes we'll chill in there, just not make beats and listen to music, do something else. And he's playing this new Homicide Gang tape. And I'm like, wait, like, can you play that song like again? And I'm like, why does that sound so familiar? And I guess I just forgot I made the beat or something, but like two and two click after a while, and I'm like, oh shit, like they dropped something with this. And so I was mad hyped when I found out they used it, but I honestly just had no idea like really who they were. Like I mean that with all
Yeah.
respect, I guess.
No. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And so I was just unaware at the time, and um over time, like they dropped a music video with it, and the song uh got more plays and stuff. But yeah, at the time, I genuinely had no idea really like what that meant. So, but uh the Snotty Wax and Big O shit, I really like those songs, and I think that was a crazy era for like trap music and everything back then,
Mm,
for
I
sure.
completely agree. And first of all, incredible story though. Kind of not even
Thank
knowing,
you.
not getting notified or anything, and just one day you're just listening to casually Discord and you're like, wait a second,
Yeah,
is that me? That's
it was
crazy.
mad weird. It was mad weird, but yeah, it was cool working with him.
So I kind of want to keep talking, like going in chronological order right now.
Mhm.
So we kind of fast forward to now. Obviously, I mentioned the Lone song from this year and sort of what you're making right now. What's the biggest difference you think in the underground a couple years ago compared to right now, if there's one that you see? Like, because I feel like you came up and the sound was obviously a little bit different, let's say. Right? You said
Yeah,
it's pretty
yeah,
accurate, more like more of the rage sound, let's say. Even though it has like a
yeah,
bad connotation now for whatever reason, because people like to make fun of it, but like still like
yeah.
shit was still fire as fuck. Like all the homicide gang shit. Like, what do you think the biggest difference is musically and just maybe culturally? Anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I think that rage, like the word rage and everything, I guess associated with that gets a bad rep because it's just more popular. Like it is what
Of
it is.
course.
Like things become popular and people are like, what? Like this shit isn't hip anymore. I don't like it. And so it's just the way of the internet, I guess. But I think what's different is there's just a lot more producers, and I think that's an amazing thing. Uh, it's for the better, honestly. It I think challenges like production as a whole. There's way more people making beats. That means that your beat may not stand out as much versus all the other people that are making beats. So I think really that's it. Like thanks to TikTok and just like producer content, I feel like getting a lot bigger than it was before. It's just helped a lot of people like learn how to produce and stuff. And I don't know how true that is, but that's really the only difference I can really see because uh although like yeah, people are making new sounds and everything, like the I guess people would be surprised and like when making the beats how similar that in quote rage and this new sound is, I guess. You're using kind of the same like chords and everything, and so it's really up to the producer, I guess, to decide on that. But I think that uh, just this section of music is a lot more popular now, and maybe all the bad rep that stuff like Rage gets or some of the production styles. is simply just because of the internet. I think it's just the way it has to be for
Mhm.
music to evolve. But
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I think something you said that I do see is the amount of producers. I think there's so many fucking producers. To your point, good producers. Like there's so many producers that I hear for like the first time, like this is insane.
yes,
There's definitely so much more. And you said, and you feel like at least, a reason for that is the amount of producing content going on. Uh, do you feel in I guess what I'm trying to ask is like do you think do you think just because of that amount of content and the fact that it's never been easier to be a producer, like there's just so much more opportunity out there, but at the same time, there's also a decrease in opportunity because there's so many of you out there. So I guess what I'm trying to say is how do you, as a producer, because you seem to do this really well, how do you make yourself stand out? What do you think the best way is to make yourself stand out? That's what I want
man,
to ask.
like to eliminate all the cliches, like just be yourself. Like
Mhm.
that's literally the worst thing I know I could say. Like whoever's listening to this, I know, but like that's really all there is to it. There's a reason why everyone says that. Like it is what works, and uh, at least just personally speaking, all the maybe songs that I've enjoyed that I made in my producing time, uh, those are usually the ones that I didn't put too much of my mind towards, and it kind of just came natural. So I feel like as long as you're surrounded by people you feel like are good people, and like you at least feel like you're doing what you need to be doing, then there's no reason why you shouldn't be successful in whatever you're pursuing in music. But I guess to answer your question, like with all this new information and stuff and people just being able to learn easily, I think that there is more opportunity, and it may not look all the same. Like you may want to get a placement with this rapper really bad when and actually you could be like working with an up and coming guy that may be up in like a couple years or something like that. I mean, that's just I guess the risk of working with certain people and not working with certain people. But yeah, I think there's so much more opportunity. And thankfully, I haven't ran into any problems to where like there's too many producers to where I can't do what I want to do. Uh, maybe if, my whole thing was like going and getting placements, maybe that would be an issue because yeah, there's like a lot more beats going to those artists now, maybe than there would be a couple years ago. But uh, I haven't really seen it as an issue, thankfully.
Yeah. No, you definitely have not seen this issue. No one out there is no one is stopping themselves from using their Keaton beats, is what I want to
And
say. Yeah,
and
nobody
thank you.
is. That's really interesting though. It really is interesting. But I think Keaton, you'd agree. We're both very glad that there's a lot more producers out there because the thing you said that I love the most was it raises the bar. Everyone
Yeah,
has to be
yeah.
better now.
And
Mm,
people are getting really good really fast. Like for example, my friend Nick, bro, Prod Nick,
yeah,
he he's only been producing like don't quote me, but like a little more than a year or something like that, a year.
yeah.
And bro, it's just insane. Like
Insane.
insane. And with like more information, it's just allowing people to learn all the stuff that the fundamentals, I guess, way faster than before.
Yeah. It's a really, really good point. Shout out to Nick though. He's one of my favorite
Shout out to him.
producers. I
Such a
mean,
good dude.
listen to so much of his production like literally the past year. So something I wanted to ask you about is you mentioned a lot of producers you have an appreciation for. One producer that I think, at least from the outside looking in, seems you're very close with is Jay Wade.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh
That's my dog.
you have hella shit with him, but specifically you guys were on If Looks Could Kill together. You were you on Homicide Gang too together?
Yeah, yeah, the deluxe, yeah.
Yeah, you were on Homicide together and you were on Dom Corleo together, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Yes. What's that relationship like with Jay Wade? What can you say about him? He's another guy who I've been seeing for so fucking long now. It feels like I mean, like two
Yeah.
years. It's like two, almost 3 years, really. But yeah, doesn't it's not like long, but shit. And music is long to me, man. So tell me,
Man,
what can you say about your relationship with Jay Wade? How'd you guys originally link up?
Bro, Jay Wade is a legend. I came across him on YouTube. I was looking for some loops to use, and I don't know how popular this is nowadays, but I remember like a couple years ago, people used to just put loop kits on YouTube for free, and uh, like in the video, they would include all the loops and play them so you could see which ones were hard. And then, anyways, Jay Wade was pumping out these loop packs more than anyone, like just going crazy. So uh, after a few labs that we got, I decided to hit him up, and a little bit after that, we found out we were on the Homicide Gang Deluxe. And so I've pretty much known him as long as I guess I've been like contributing some of the songs you were talking about before. And so he's pretty much been around like this whole time, which I'm super thankful for. He's a really good dude. We actually met linked up in Tennessee maybe like a month or two ago now. Made some beats, just cooked up, chilled, and yeah, it was really good to get to know him. And really, I'm trying to do that with a lot more people in this producing thing. Like just meet everyone I can, because so far it's been nothing but love. But yeah, Jay Wade's goat, bro,
Yeah,
total goat.
Jay Wade's absolutely a legend. So happy to hear you guys actually got to meet up in person. I agree with you. I wish I could meet everybody that I interview, everybody that I've ever talked to through
Right,
SoundCloud,
right,
because the fact that we all share like this deep love and passion for music, and it's not just like any kind of music, like we're in the trenches.
yeah,
Listening to someone like we're all talking about this one kid with 300 followers, and we're like, yeah, he's next up. Like this is the next
exactly,
future. You know what I mean? I
literally, man.
absolutely love that. Before we leave the Jay Wade topic, I would love to learn more about biggest problem with Destroy Lonely. As I mentioned, like one of the most hyped tapes in the underground this past year, probably was the most. It charted crazy on Billboard. It was everywhere. He went on tour right before it dropped. I had the opportunity to see Lone in February,
Oh,
where I'm
really?
at. So fire. Maybe appreciate his music even more, seeing him in person. How did that all happen? Obviously, you, Jay Wade, and Cody was on there. Just an amazing song, biggest problem. But yeah, how'd that all happen? How'd you find out?
Yeah, man. So Cody reached out maybe like close to a year now or something like that. We haven't been working for too long, but he just reached out. We had been working with like some mutual producers um at the time, and so I think just everything lined up, and then he hit me and I started sending him the producers will know what this is. Zip files.
Hmm.
It basically allows you to collab with other producers super easily. Like you can send projects and stuff. So I had just sent him a project, one of like maybe three or something, and then uh, he worked on it, sent the beat back. I was like, cool, this is a fire beat. And then some months go by, and then I get a DM on Discord from him saying like, yo, like telling me what's up. And so from there on is when I guess like I started sending him more stuff. I would say after that we may have got like a little bit uh tighter through that process. And so and really all three of us, like Jay Wade and Cody, just started working with them more after that. So but yeah, it was just super casual. Like we weren't really in a studio session or like I wish I had a cool story a cool
No, no,
story to
no.
say
I
about
think this. No, no, no.
it.
Come on, Keaton. This is just as cool as the story they made.
Thank you, man.
It's the fact that you actually were on the tape itself. I mean, this is the
Thank you,
coolest thing
man.
ever.
Yeah, like, but it was just it came from putting in work for sure. Just sending projects that we might think is cool, and but we might not have the brain power at the time to finish the project. So that's when the duty is to send it off to one of your homies, and they'll finish it from there. So, but yeah, that was just one of the beats we had, just one of them. So
That's so fucking fire, man. Thank you,
thank you,
Destroy
bro.
Lonely, for getting on a Keenan beat like
For
that.
sure. Thank you.
That's fucking amazing. Something else I want to talk about is your YouTube channel. You have like almost like 7,000 subscribers on there. You have so many beats on there. So many beats on there. Seems like you've been at it for a minute. What made you just upload to YouTube all the time? Obviously, you mentioned the type beat community, or as you said, how
Yeah.
much that did for you. Why have you been so adamant and consistent for a long time in posting shit on YouTube?
Man, I think it is just because like I was listening to the type beats so much back in the day. But when I started producing, because of that I think I just automatically thought I was fire or something. And so I was making these terrible beats, bro. Like I would sample Mario 64 or something. Like the loop would be off time with the drums. It was a disaster. But I still persisted and posted my beats to YouTube, even though they were ass and terrible. But I kept at it, and eventually I started meeting other producers, and that's really where what pushed me to keep dropping stuff on YouTube because it's hard at first, I guess, when you're new to anything, but especially something like music, to where other people's opinions kind of matter. Like if someone's gonna hear your music, I guess that's subjective, but uh personally, my bad, bro, for my dog.
You're good, you're good.
Like I don't know, I just think it was easy to for me to share my music with people on other people on YouTube, and I met a lot of good, producers and just people I could always have to talk to at any time. And so that I feel like is what made me keep posting to YouTube because um when you're doing something like posting beats to YouTube, you may go a month where you don't see a lot of sales or something like that. So the roadblocks are there, but I think that the only reason a lot of people even keep doing it is just for the people that appreciate the beats and comment and everything, show love. And so uh, it's a very tight knit community. Like you'll see the same people coming back to your channel and stuff. Like it's super real, super genuine. So
That's really, really cool. Everyone out there, start on YouTube's not bad. I feel like sometimes it's a
oh,
bit taboo. Like post that shit on YouTube, man. I love that.
there's this like stigma that it's corny to post on YouTube and stuff, but I don't know. I think that's wrong.
Tell him, Keaton, to tell him. It's wrong, people. It's wrong.
No, for sure.
So something I'm also really interested in that I don't think a lot of people talk about is sort of when, for someone like yourself, right, you started this as, you just want to make music. You're interested in music. You want to play around and see what you can do, see what you can make, right? And there comes a point for someone like yourself where, in my opinion, it takes a big step up where, yes, it started as a hobby, something you love to do, but now you could almost see it as a career potentially, and that could be something that's realistic.
Mhm.
Obviously, you don't get on a Billboard charting album and not really like do without some sort of paperwork and you signing something, not actually something physical, but for you to
Right.
get the royalties and what you actually deserve from that. And it's more of a business, right? It's real in the world. And kind of speaking about yourself, you're under some dude who I think is really cool, Jonathan Hicks, who's an Internet Money A&R. I
For
was happy
sure.
with those kind of people too. I think they're interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
And sort of being under undeniable management. What has it been like? Well, first off, when did that transition happen where you felt like, okay, this was like I'm making beats in Discord to, oh shit, like I think I'm getting like a check for this beat that I made,
Yeah.
right? When did that change first start? And then what is it like to be under like professional management as a producer, right? I feel like not a lot of people are
Yeah.
able to talk about this or do talk about it, but I think a lot of people are curious about it. At
Yeah,
least
yeah.
at least I am because I'm fucking asking about
No,
it.
it's very
Yeah,
interesting.
please,
Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
So yeah, I guess management is great. Like it's so great to just have people behind your music that have the same goals as you, but not in such a similar way. Like, you're supposed to make the music, and then, I guess the other stuff involved with music would be getting the music to places. And someone like me, I'll admit I'm not the best at, doing that. So it's amazing to have someone else's help, someone that knows a little bit more than me about the music industry, at hand to help. But I think that the turning point where I realized that I can at least, make money off of music was this was back in 2020, I believe. I just made my BeatStars account and um started that up, got a few sales within a few months, and that honestly had me so hyped. Like I would have been 14 or 13 or something at the time. And so just having any money at all, like in my PayPal was just the craziest thing to me. And, I hadn't like worked a job or anything before that. So that was my first ever type of like money or anything. And so it was really, 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 I guess surreal to me that you
Yeah.
can make even money off just doing something you like. So I think that would have been like the turning point to where I realized that, I guess. But it was 100% a different experience having like um just real paperwork and stuff like that to look at for sure because it's not necessarily validating or something like that, but like you said, like it's out into the world and I guess just having like as dumb as it is, like a little PDF to look at is is kind of surreal and it's at the same time brings you back to reality because it's like okay, I'm really like I can do this, like I can keep going, but uh yeah, it definitely the Shoy Lonely song that was a whole different experience for sure, and
Yeah.
it's still honestly kind of new. Like through that, I've met a lot of new people, and um, yeah, I'm excited to see where the future goes. But uh, speaking for now, it's just super surreal to know that the option is possible, to go full mode with music, and so for sure,
And I'd have to imagine is that's the goal?
yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm going to like a community college right now. I'm trying to do the safe things in life. But I mean, hey, who am I to admit that I don't want to be a producer for the rest of my life? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
I mean, the majority of people listening to this and kind of looking from the outside in already think you are a producer for a living,
right, right.
which is really funny.
No,
And yeah,
it's
mm,
still, I mean, there's still progress to be done, like, but it's really comforting to at least know that your music's getting out there somewhere. So,
yeah, and that's the most important thing, man, is your music having an impact. That shit is valuable. That
thank
shit
you,
is more
man,
valuable than anything,
for
really.
sure.
Couple quick questions right now for you, Keatum. You ready, man?
I'm ready.
What are you listening to right now? Right now, though. Right now.
Man, right now, I will click on Spotify for you, man. It's right here. Right now, I'm listening to Surfacing by Slipknot. Super random, probably the most random thing I could have said, but yeah, man, Slipknot, Miles Davis,
Miles Davis.
Portishead, Were, if you're hip to them, they're
Nah,
fire.
get me hit, man.
Bro, I got you. I'm about to just send you my profile after this interview
No, that
because
ass,
I love
please, please,
listening to
please.
music. Like
Yeah,
I'll listen to anything. I guess that's another thing I could say. Like, I try not to just stick to one genre or anything like that. Like, if there's some type of music that someone's calling trash or terrible, I usually go try to find it and at least just listen to it. Like, I want to find everything. So,
I love that. Because I feel the same exact way. Where do you think that comes from? Would you wanting to just dive anywhere?
I mean, before I was making music, because I guess that would be a relatively new thing in my life. Like, up until that point, I just only listened to music. And so, I guess it's cool now making beats that you can go back and listen to like maybe a rock song from like the 80s and hear some real drums. And you may not like me as a trap producer, I might not be able to pull that off, but to sit there and at least think about it and know it's possible with the tools you have is pretty mind blowing to me. Like not saying I can sit here and make a Fleetwood Mac song on FL, but like just the fact that technically it is a doable thing and like with all the modern technology is crazy to me. So it's a goal of mine to be able to grasp like any type of music I can for
Yeah,
sure.
I think that's such a fantastic perspective and mindset to approach music with because so many people hear like a couple of their friends or a couple of people on Twitter or IG say, "Oh, that was trash. Oh, this, that, and the third." And they go into listening to a project or genre of music with this bias, like, and this expectation, like, this shit is trash, you know?
Yeah.
And why? It's just why. That's like, that's,
Yeah.
come on, that's not smart.
I
Don't
mean,
do
it's very easy. Like, I guess TikTok, like the variety of music is out there. I mean, you'll hear like
that. Yeah.
one song on one TikTok and a complete polar opposite on the other. But in general, like your friend that is in the TikTok a lot may have one particular interest or something like that. And so, not saying like death to TikTok or anything, but I honestly just am not on that as much. And so I think just being on my own on Spotify helps a lot. Like you can't have that bias at all and try to enjoy some new music, I feel like it's just impossible. You
Yep.
may eventually find something, but without that open mind, like you won't even discover the thing you might love next. So I don't know. Not saying like force yourself to listen to some like avant-garde electronic music or something like that, but maybe figure out something in your life that you never cared for, like country music, and go and listen to it again. Like see what happens. See how your mind reacts with that. But that's just my advice.
Yeah. That's fantastic advice. If you don't have an open mind, you might not find what you love next, is what you
Definitely.
said. And that's a very quotable moment right now from the Expressions podcast. That's really so Keaton. I couldn't agree more though. I mean, yeah, don't be approaching things like that. Just don't. Because
For
again, like you
sure.
said, you might miss it. You might miss it. And I've had that. I've even had, that happen to me where I listen to something, I'm like, like I don't know. And then like 4 months later, I'm like, this is my favorite song I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And
how did I
music
be
is
like
weird
why?
because it's such like a it's like half music and half whatever's going on when you're listening to the music. It's just the way our brains are. And so like it's it's very subjective and like I guess you can like listen to music without even understanding what it's even supposed to do in the first place. But I don't know. It's just such a there's so much to it, I guess, with like music and the way people listen to music. And I find that fascinating too. And I would love to figure out the science behind that because I think that it would be awesome to keep producing and then figure out why people react to certain sounds or something like that. But I don't know. That's
Yeah.
it's kind of beyond my brain power at the moment.
No, I completely agree though. It is really, really fascinating. Just and something you said though is and something and the point I want to make as well, which is, I mentioned that example of listening to the song 4 months ago and listening to it right now, and you say it's really subjective. It's kind of what's going on in your life, and it's sort of in those 4 months, let's say, I changed as a person, I grew, I did this and that, and what I'm listening to right now, that shit's resonating with me because before it just wasn't because that just wasn't for me at the time. That wasn't resonating with me. I wasn't going through whatever that song meant was gonna mean to me.
Right.
Excuse me. So yeah,
And isn't
music
that a
is.
crazy feeling in the moment? You're like, damn, I would have never liked this like 3 months ago.
Yep, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. And I get mad at myself anyways, but
exactly.
fuck am I gonna do? Keaton, who are some of your favorite producers to work with right now that you're working with?
Right now, first spot, definitely Jay Wade. That's
Jay
a
Wade.
given. But man, oh, it's such a hard question.
I know. Listen, you can name a bunch. I know it's a tough one, but
At
the
the
people you're
moment,
locked in, like right now, you just been like, yeah, you feel like you guys are making some really special shit.
honestly, right now, there's this producer from Japan, Pulp K, really fire producer, really
Okay.
fire producer. Skreer, I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he's
No.
fire. Been working with him. Um, Usagi is fire.
Mm,
Anyone from opera, those are my
yep.
guys.
All
Nick,
crazy.
Patrick, my bad, bro. Tizzy,
Yeah, I had Kagyu on not so
Yeah,
long ago.
Kagu, all those guys are goated. Those are really good guys. But honestly, yeah, Pulp K, Usagi, and I'm trying to think of who else I've been working with at the moment. Um, that's really all I can think of at the moment. I know I'm forgetting so many names, and I'm gonna
No, no, no,
bite
no.
my wrist
Listen,
after this interview. But
listen. To all the producers that Keaton works with, man, he appreciates and loves you.
I
Don't
love
worry,
you
I
all.
got you. Uh, Obviously, you listen to a shit ton of music from clearly everywhere. We're talking about Slipknot, Miles Davis before. Now we were talking about Lone for a minute, even to Zucchini on one of my favorite
Right,
songs
right.
ever. Literally all over the place.
By the way, I'm glad you like that beat. Thank you so much for that.
How could you not like that beat is my question. If you don't like that beat, I question you. I'm gonna question you. Who in the underground is up next? Who are you listening to, or maybe you're locked in with that is
Ooh.
in the cracks and the crevices right now trying to get out that you think is just
Well, you said one just now, Zucchini.
yeah,
Zucchini's up next for sure.
for sure. Agreed.
Super fire. I don't work with him a lot, but super fire. I listen to him a lot. Tizzy is up next,
Yeah.
100%.
Tizzy's so far. So
So
far.
fire. Really good dude. Trying to think rapper wise.
It could be any genre too. Like I say
Yep.
underground, but I guess more so, are there any up and coming artists that you're listening to anywhere that
Okay,
people
yeah.
need to tap into?
Shoot. Honestly, I would say I, my boys from my town I live in,
Oh shit, let's
called
go. Let's go.
Grayland.
What are they called?
Grayland.
Grayland?
Yeah, they're a rock band. They're so hard, so hard. They're definitely next up.
Bro, tap me in, man.
I got you. I
I
got
need
you.
to support the Oklahoma scene right
They
now.
just dropped their first single a couple months ago, so for sure I got you. They're really cool. They're definitely next up. Anytime they have a show and I can be there, 100% making it there, that type of thing. But I guess in other genres, there's an artist from here named Lex.
Lex.
He's super hard. More of like a pop artist from
Okay.
Tulsa. Super fire. I'm hoping to work with her more in the future. Um,
Lex.
yeah,
I
yeah.
I don't know if I'm thinking of the same person, but I feel like I've let me see. Keep going though. Keep going. Keep
No, for
going.
sure, for sure. And I'm trying to think of some more rappers I've been working with lately. Necessary. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yeah,
That's
nah,
my
he's hard.
dog.
He's hard. I've seen you have a good amount of stuff with him
100%. He's next up. Really good dude. I met him in Tennessee also with Jay Wade at the same time.
so far.
So for sure. But now I don't know. There's a lot of people up next though. Like back to what we were talking about with like music that's kind of popular now and I guess rappers that will be up in like a couple of years or less. I think that there's going to be a lot of those. Like a lot of people from the community that we're talking about just going up within the next couple of years. Um, it's just such a new and refreshing sound. Like you keep all the elements of like I guess your normal trap music, but a person like Zucchini, they may have a super, creative taste in beats or something. So they may go and try to find something that no one's rapping on yet. And I think that's cool. And I think that's what's gonna make like certain rappers stand out now. But it's just amazing seeing like the upcoming of all these guys. Like it truly is. That's the best part about being in this music thing. Like being able to just be there and not only work with them, but just watch them go from having almost no following to like being a superstar. It's amazing. So
I agree. That's one of my favorite feelings ever to watch the come up. It's
yeah,
inspiring. It's you and like you said, you get to work with these people and watch them go up and as you're literally working with them. And not only are they impacting people, but your music as a whole collectively is impacting people. And it's like, wow, it really is amazing. It
for sure.
really is.
Even if you've never talked to the person,
Hmm.
whoever we're talking about, it's still an amazing feeling to see whoever just go up. So
Completely agree. Keatum, man, you got a lot of love in your heart. That's a very, very positive trait
thank
for
you.
real, man. I love that. Keatum, one of my last questions. We're not done yet. Who haven't you worked with yet that you need to? Artist or producer, whatever you want.
Man, artist wise, I would love to work with let me think at the moment. There's so many, man. There's
No,
so
I
many
know, I know,
artists
I
right now.
know.
There's
Tough
so many.
questions. Tough questions.
Honestly, like it would be a dream to work with some of the producers I grew up listening to. Um, I mean, of course, like at the top of that's like Metro, the most popular
Hmm.
producer ever. But
Hmm.
um, just people like that. Like at the time, I was listening to maybe young bands when I was starting to make music. So Mexico Dro, anyone in that
Fucking
scene
legend.
of SoundCloud, that TK tape, like that tape, all the producers on there, so fire. Um, but artist wise, I really fuck with hard rock. Like all the stuff that's been coming out.
Yeah, he's my
Really big
favorite
fan of
artist.
him.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
favorite artist too. Yeah,
that's what's
yep,
up.
yep.
Yeah, his music's really fire. I want to get more in with Sid Carlito
Mm,
for sure. More songs with him. Shoot. And really anyone that's related to any of the names, I've been saying like I'm really down to work with whoever. And I think that really all my goals are set on is just working with whoever's next. So just anyone. But I'm sorry I can't answer your,
No,
your
no, no, no.
question.
You've answered it. You've answered it
It's so hard.
fantastically. You've given me like 60 names. You're describing everything very well. Please, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
So, Keaton, the year's 2028. That's 5 years from now. Where are you gonna be? Paint a little picture.
And I just want to be comfortable and happy for real. But to paint a picture, I'm thinking like just a really scenic place,
Nice.
um, some speakers and a laptop. That's really all I really want. So as long as, those two things are available and there at whatever place, I think I'll be good. But um, yeah, I mean, I would love to just make it to a point in the music where I can live and create freely. So,
Wow, that was fucking beautiful. That was
man,
so
thank you.
simply put, but had a lot of meaning right there. You're a simple guy that you don't need a lot. You don't need a lot to be content, because you're happy with yourself, clearly. And that is so important. It's so important.
Definitely important. Yeah,
Keenum, this has been absolutely fucking legendary. This is one of the most wholesome podcasts I think has ever occurred here on the Expressions podcast. So we thank you for that. Tell
man,
the
thank you.
people where can they find you? Instagram, SoundCloud, anything else you want to plug? Beat Stars.
Man, yeah, yeah. Find me anywhere with keatmn. So anywhere, that's pretty much my at if you want to find me. I do have a Beat Stars. My prices aren't too terrible. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But no, seriously, like say what's up. I love talking to everyone. So just hit me.
Beautiful. Keenum, this is the very, very, very last question. Anything else you'd like to say to the people out there? Final words.
Man, I would just like to say after I like that conversation we had about having an open mind in music. So I
Mhm.
guess the biggest takeaway I could say is just open your ears, like listen to everything.
Open your ears, listen to everything. I'll say it one more time. Keenum, beautifully said. You're an absolutely incredible human and an incredible producer. Thank you so much for coming on. I
Likewise,
really
man. Thank
appreciate
you
it.
so much.
And to everyone listening to the Expressions podcast, thank you very much. I appreciate you. And until next time.